Kawakami, you are 32 years old. When will you get married? Your time's running out. My eggs. If you're dating a Scorpio, you're a victim. I'm so sorry. If God asked me to kill my child, I would, because I trust him. What's up? Bored and studying math? What kind of math? Topology. Haha, that was a good one. And I study bottomology. Topology is a real subject. Topology, branch of mathematics. Oh. My 14-year-old daughter was selected by her peers to present her oratorical essay on the stigma of periods to the high school, but the administration doesn't think my daughter should present because the topic is inappropriate. My dad spent a week in a hospital for a heart attack, and this is what we owe. Total charges $131,047.75. When I was 5, I found out my grandpa had a twin. When I saw him after my grandpa's funeral, a ducking heads up would have been nice. 0/10 love the realistic look. It should have 52 stars, not 1. First of all, this is Liberia. Second of all, USA flag has 50 stars. Liberals don't have a flag, LMAO. Why does England, a European country, speak English, an American language, instead of another foreign European language? A real man stands by his woman, even if she's pregnant for another man. Restaurant review in Pakistan. Very bad quality, non-expensive with garbage taste. They don't even know how to make pink tea. I'm very disappointed. Thanks, we appreciate your feedback. Gandu, we've been closed for over a month, so we don't know where you got your naan from. 1870. Man, my wife, whom had 4 babies and 0 orgasms this year, and is not allowed to vote, cries a lot. Doctor, obviously she is insane. Millennials want jobs and education, not marriage and kids. Alternate headline. You'll ducked up the economy so badly that we can't focus on marriage and kids because we're struggling to afford to live. Today my 3-year-old niece cried because she remembered she hit her leg somewhere 3 days ago. She said she forgot to cry about her leg that day. In my hungover state, I went food shopping, reached for a pack of sausages, and someone reached at the same time, so I stepped back and said, sorry, you go ahead. I then realized I'd actually seen my own arm in a mirror and had apologized to myself in front of a lady handing out samples. The children at my son's elementary school have started referring to me as a Karen and mocking my chic hairstyle. Is there anything I can do in the way of legal action to prevent this? I'm deeply offended. Welp. Posting a question about suing 8-year-olds is probably the wrong way to beat the stereotype. My friend didn't reply to her man for 2 weeks and told me that you gotta give them time to miss you, and now he's got a new girl, MFAO. Look at this. This is a fetus at 16 weeks. Are you still for abortion? Ma'am, that's Voldemort. My 23F husband, 24M, thinks our son is gay when he's only a year old. Some of the reasons he thinks our son is gay: he loves when the light shines through the window in a way that makes rainbows on the floor. He was curious about my makeup and has tried to take my lipstick and eyeliner. It reminds him of crayons. He generally prefers me to my husband. He likes to help me peel bananas, and one time my husband saw him mouth the tip of it. He got angry at me for letting him do something that looks Shrek-shal. What the duck? His favorite thing to do outside right now is look at the flowers that are blooming and touch them. My husband thinks he likes books too much for a boy. There's also a character in one of the books that my son always points and smiles at because he has bright orange hair, son's favorite color, but my husband thinks he has a crush on the character. I don't even know what to say to that. Why are IT guys such dicks? Last week I drove 2 hours to push the power button on a server that 3 separate people assured me was already on. My boyfriend literally just got me some chocolate and a card for Valentine's. Like, when I say I want chocolates, what I really want is a ring or a necklace. Just because I say I want something doesn't mean I want it. I have lived next to the same guy for 3 years. Thought his name was Steve. I call him Steve. His name is Steve in my phone. I've been to his apartment. We've had dinner. His name is Brian. His dog is Steve. To everyone living in a blue state, I would suggest visiting a red state to recall that life can be happy, prosperous, and free. To everyone living in a red state, I would suggest visiting a blue state to remember that it can all be taken away. If you're an adult whose rent is less than $4,000 a month, you're still a child. Imagine being an adult paying $4,000 rent and not a mortgage. Fun fact, blueberries are the only fruit named after a color. Star fruit? So close. That is a shape. What was the incident in your high school? Principal found weed in the boys' bathroom, called an assembly, and told us we had to vote for who we think it was. I think the principal's son got like 98% of the votes. Suddenly the voting system wasn't valid. We didn't even coordinate it. Everyone had the same idea at once, and it was glorious. If you ever feel dumb, just know that when my friend was 14 she went to a psychiatrist because she had a voice in her head. It was her brain, like literally just her thoughts. She thought that she was the only person who had the ability to think for 14 years. A priest, a minister, and a rabbit walk into a bar. The rabbit says, "I think I'm a typo. It's spelled Rabbi Steve. This is really embarrassing for you as an author." Apple be like, "High volume may damage your ears, okay, I don't care. Is it just me, or is the highest volume not loud anymore?" Woman brought her own ducking bell to the restaurant to call a waiter. Start a business, $999. Too much. Buy a new iPhone, $999. No problem. Healthy groceries, $100. Too much. Dinner and drinks, $100. No problem. Watch Netflix. 2 hours. One more episode. Learn a new skill. 2 hours. No time. Life is about choices. Stop blaming the lack of opportunity. Ah yes, one of those highly profitable businesses that can be started with $999 in capital. The US dollar, the most valuable currency on earth. $50,000 would basically make you a millionaire in London or Paris, where they use pounds and euros, and both of which are worth more than dollars. A pound is a use of measurement, bro. We are talking about currency. Delivery instructions. It's a surprise party for my mother and we live together. So please can the box not look obvious? It's party supplies. Found this at the bottom of my delivery receipt. Thank you to whoever this was. Pretty sure this is the Vine guy that does awesome impressions. I swear the delivery instructions are put by whoever orders though. They are. This is so embarrassing. So if dinosaur bones have been kept into shade for millions of years underground and are in such great condition, why do museums need plaster and wires to keep them together? Did the dinosaurs also need plaster and wire? Your bones wouldn't stick together on form if your flesh was gone. Do you have proof of that claim? J.K. Rowling says that Hermione should have ended up with Harry instead of Ron. Ain't she right, the damn book? Dear neighbor, I was recently informed that you are not Mexican, but Indian. I'm not racist and wish for all kinds to love and be loved. But I would like to inform you that we, citizens of pay taxes to live on this land, and you do not. There are Indian reservation held for your people, where you are welcome and appreciated. This is not your place. You are not welcome in this neighborhood. I kindly suggest, with the best of intentions, that you consider moving back in a place where you really belong. Also, I overheard a conversation with my son and his friend, and said that he thinks your daughter is cute. I highly suggest that you tell your daughter not to dress inappropriately, as it is confusing my son and possibly his friends. I do not think it is cute at all. It is sin for your daughter to dress this way. Please tell your daughter, if she expresses any interest in my son or any other young man in this neighborhood, that interracial dating or marriage is sin and punished by God and highly discouraged. I have told the same to my child. She would be better off finding a young man in a reservation who is also Indian. She will be way happier. I believe you would be better, you and your family, going back to a reservation with your people. For the well-being of you and your family. Sincerely, a neighbor. Indian minister fighting climate change by pouring cold water on model globe. Sat through a horrible job interview for an hour, then the guy was like, by the way, this only pays 30,000, so if you're looking for a job that pays better, look elsewhere. So I said, okay I will. Then he was like, wait Noel Mayo, this was hours ago and I still feel incredible. I just heard somebody light off fireworks at 9 AM. You had a whole ass day yesterday. What the duck happened? Time zones exist. I'm gonna need you to think really hard about this. Homegirl, leave him. That's my girlfriend. I just preached my first sermon. She recorded it and wanted me to watch what she recorded. Thanks. Music lovers who went deaf later in life, how do you cope? How are they gonna read this post, idiot? With their eyes? What's a real currency? The US dollar, the most valuable currency on earth. $50,000 would basically make you a millionaire in London or Paris, where they use pounds and euros, and both of which are worth more than dollars. A pound is a use of measurement, bro. We are talking about currency. Indian middle schooler is assaulted and choked in Dallas, Texas. He gets 3 days of suspension. The assaulter gets 1 day. Father of 5 fatally run over by woman who thought he was killing a cat in Cyprus. Horrid, didn't show up. My first 1-star review. I've been waiting for 8 months for this. Well Tiffany, I did in fact show up and did in fact diagnose your Dodge Caravan with your husband beside me. It needs a starter. You knew I was there because you texted me and told me how you were unhappy with your husband and how I was Shrexy as duck. So I proceeded to be a good person and showed your husband the text messages. And now you're mad. So you left me a 1-star review. Well Tiffany, I'm giving you a 1-star review on being a wife. God bless. As a mom, we raise them to be the men we never had. Of course we want to be with them. I had a friend who didn't take my advice about only wifing virgins. Had a baby with this broad with 15 plus body count. The baby came out looking like a composition of the past 15 guys she ducked. Doctor said it had something to do with the sperm residue sticking to the vaginal walls. These entitled millennials are cheering for a housing market crash. Millennials are actually cheering for a housing market crash on Twitter so they can afford a home. It seems the very image of entitlement. Man faces up to 40 years in federal prison after large marijuana bust near Wendover. Foster mom gets 1 year in jail after pleading guilty to killing 2-year-old. Alleged porch pirate arrested after wearing exact same shirt to court from surveillance footage. His lawyer. The very last message my little girl Minnie made sure I had before she passed away this year. Daddy can hear your voice every time I read this and I miss ya more than you'll ever know. If only the child wrote and drawed better. No offense but that mess is a eyesore. Went to Roadhouse and ordered a 6-ounce steak, looked small as duck, so I got my scale and mother ducker weighed 3.5 ounces. Lumfeo better check your shit. Got my 6 ounces though. Got my ruler for Subway ass. They next. How to get that smell out of my gaming chair. A common problem that most people have is that their gaming chairs start to smell. Mine has started to smell of poo. This is very unpleasant and my girlfriend has started whining about it recently, which makes me angry. I've tried wiping it down with wet wipes and the smell doesn't seem to leave. Any advice? How do you guys get rid of the smell? Improve your own hygiene. Sitting on things should not generate smell like that at all with proper hygiene. Wow, very judgmental community here. If you were revamping the human body and were to give boobs an actual useful function instead of just Shrek's appeal, what would you have them do? It's 9 AM here and I'm starting the day knowing I can hardly hear something dumber than this today. I don't know, maybe something crazy like feeding our babies? I feel sorry for Netflix era kids. They will never know the high stakes adrenaline of running to the bathroom / fridge / bedroom in a single ad break, with the beckoning call of a sibling screaming it's on to send you hurtling over furniture to get back in time. Couldn't you just pause it? Dude keeps calling me bro and chuckling, so I overpriced his tattoo and I'm gonna make it hurt more than any he's ever had. Taking the top layer of skin off with a razor, wiping with alcohol, needle out and riding the tube, dry paper towel. Dude is in for a world of hurt. I'm wiping with an alcohol soaked rag and he goes, "Is that alcohol? That shit hurts, brother," so I wiped harder. My son at 16, bedtime is 9. He has no phone and no internet access without a parent sitting in the room. Then it is limited to an hour max. There are parental passcodes on the TVs and he can only watch certain TV programs. Crazy that those are gonna be the exact rules you follow in the nursing home. Adult children are costing many parents their retirement savings. Young adults are being forced to rely on help from parents to survive due to overwhelming student loan debt and cripplingly low wages there. Fixed your headline. The look on this pilot's face as his passenger decides to jump and throw her arms into the air for a pic while under the spinning chopper blades. We don't do NFTs. If you see a cyanide and happiness NFT, that wasn't us. If you bought a cyanide and happiness NFT, you got scammed. Also lol. Don't know why you had to add the also lol at the end there. Shouldn't glorify vulnerable people being scammed. NFT bros losing money is funnier than any of our comics. Good morning. I'm looking into getting my 2 boys homeschooled. Are there any places in the area that offer this? Texas police lieutenant says cops were reluctant to engage gunmen because they cold been shot. This is incredible. China is testing its new autonomous electric train that does not need traditional tracks. It runs on a virtual track. Can go everywhere. Mother ducker, that's a bendy bus. Brag a little. What is the coolest thing you've done lately? I finally confess my feelings for my best friend. I had a feeling she had similar feelings and she did. Then we spent last weekend camping and doing mushrooms. Haven't felt so connected to someone in my entire life. The situation is still a little weird right now, but I think it's going to work out to be amazing. What he didn't say is that he did this while cheating on his wife. Hi, I'm the wife. In 2015, an Australian woman won $825 at the Melbourne Cup after betting on a horse. The ecstatic woman posted a selfie of her holding the winning ticket on Facebook, and when she went to claim her winnings only 15 minutes later, the money was gone. Apparently, one of her Facebook friends downloaded the photo and used the barcode in an automated machine to steal her winnings. The youth are going bold and grey a lot faster now. Great time at the Texas Youth Summit. Woman says her boyfriend pays for everything because she's an investment. Please fill my window washer fluid all the way up. I expect it to last 6 months, not 3 or 4 months. If I get shortchanged on window washer fluid, it makes me wonder if the other fluids are filled to their optimal levels. I stopped going to Charles Barker Toyota service because of this, and if I find that it happens again, I won't be back. PS5 time schedule. Foot rub, 30 minutes of playing time. Back rub, 40 minutes of playing time. Cook dinner, 1 hour of playing time. No online. Take out a trash. 1 game of 2K only. You shitty anyway. Clean the house. 2 hours playing time. Must take 30-minute break for affection. Unlimited playtime on Sunday only. No playtime on holidays. If violating of this schedule occurs, your PS5 will be sold to smart porn on Roost. Wi-Fi. Beyonce uses Bible pages as tampons. It is witchcraft. I hate Satan. Hunting but make it vegan. Girl didn't know the word for gathering. India. Man dies after being thrown out of an ambulance while trying to stop the driver from molesting his wife. Hi, I'm a teen influencer with 47.2k TikTok followers and I get 100k views per video. Most of my audience is 14 to 17 years old and would love your jewelry and t-shirts. I want to collab with you by advertising your products to help you grow your business. If you send me 3 of the most expensive items in your store, I'll make a TikTok that about them. I hope to hear back from you. Hi there, the best way you can support our small business is by purchasing from it. I clicked on your TikTok, and it seems like you get 200 views per video, and your followers are 12. Unless your 1000 TikTok followers with no forms of currency can help me pay off my student loans, please stop asking small businesses for free stuff. Thanks. Nice hangout today with new friend and her amazing stash of the aged urine. We welcome all initiates to aged urine here. It's the most powerful free medicine you'll ever use. After 2 months of talking, I told this guy yesterday that I wasn't ready for a relationship and he responded, "It's been great. Hope you have a good one." And then he blocked me. No effort, no pressure applied. I'm devastated. Remember to drink H2O too. A new bill in Oklahoma proposes to charge teachers personally from their own personal resources $10,000 per incident per individual if they teach any biology that offends Christian moral principles. Things are clearly not okay. 12-year-old boy passed away at school after they confiscate his inhaler and lock it in principal's office. Shout out to our parents for hitting an absolute timeline sweet spot. Drop in right after a world war, have a bunch of weird Shreks before HIV, buy a house for like $20,000, start a family, retire young, and peace out right before the ocean kills us. Sorry, I was too busy paying $485 for a campus parking pass. Why aren't millennials buying diamonds? So barbaric that this should still be allowed. No conservation laws in effect wherever this is? This guy thinks it's cool to kill defenseless animals then take a selfie. Jerk. Is it possible to feel that your girlfriend has slept with someone else when you penetrate her? Former military liaison officer at government in the United States of America, 1995 to 2005. I state this short and sweet. The answer is a definite yes. No holds barred. If you are having Shreks with only her, and she is having Shreks with only you, her vagina will conform to the size of your penis. A vagina will stretch to conform to nearly every penis that enters it. I say nearly, because my wife has told me some guys are just too big for her. All vaginas are not so different, it's the pelvic structure that makes the biggest difference for her. Try as we may, I could never fist her. Never. She could not have a vaginal procedure because her narrow pelvis would not allow the doctor to proceed. So I can say yes, you can tell. If you stop having Shreks with her because of military duty, stationed all around the world, in some instances it is an unaccompanied tour, or in the case of a combat zone. Say you are gone on a 6-month rotation or 13-month rotation, and she has been having Shreks with anyone who is larger than you. Yes, you will know, because her vagina now conforms to whoever she was ducking, and will no longer conform to your penis. Yes, you can tell. Any badders wanna trade on Snap? Text me freaks only that will send anything. Mom, this subreddit is about the British Broadcasting Corporation or BBC, not about black guys' dicks. Sorry about the confusion, and have a nice day. Am I the asshole for calling the cops on my dad? Throwaway account because I don't want my family tracing this back to me. I, 16F, recently went to an amusement park with my friend. While I was there they had to kick everyone out because of a bomb threat and close the park early. When I got home and told my dad about this, he was acting very suspicious. He was asking lots of questions about whether or not they had caught the guy and could they trace the threat, and it all just seemed very off. Now I think it should be mentioned that I watch a lot of Criminal Minds. It's my favorite show and I've learned a lot from it. It's safe to say I have a decent knowledge of the criminal justice system, but more importantly the psychology of a criminal. My dad is a 50-year-old white male who had a traumatic upbringing. When I applied this information to what I've learned from Criminal Minds, alarm bells started going off. I confronted my dad, and he denied everything, but I didn't expect him to confess to me. Highly suspecting my dad to be the unsub, I called the tip line and reported him. I think it should be mentioned that my dad had no alibi, and he was actually in the area that night. The police brought him in for questioning, and I haven't seen him since they took him away. My friends and family think I'm insane, but I know my dad did it. So what do you think, Reddit? Am I the asshole? Gift card scam. Customers are receiving phone calls saying they missed jury duty, missed a bill payment, etc, etc. These are scams. No official government organization will ever call or request gift cards. Today in my classroom, I had a soon-to-be teacher observe me in my classroom for 2 hours. She was my age. She did not have a bachelor's degree. Her husband did 4 years in the military 30 years ago. The state of Florida gave her a 5-year teaching certification because she's married to a veteran. She was a waitress. She starts teaching 3rd grade next week, and the only thing she had to do to get this teaching certification was to observe certified teachers in their classrooms for a total of 12 hours. She had to ask me what I meant by phonetic spelling, reading fluency, and mathematical operations. Having a nut allergy? Just try these nut-free nuts. Now that Never Gonna Give You Up has been removed from YouTube, what should the next meme song be? No, it hasn't, let me look it up. Edit, you got me. You rickrolled yourself. If the drug becomes significantly cheaper than newer better diabetes treatments, more people could die from the disease. Lowering the cost of insulin could be deadly. Lonely Ape, the NFT dating service cancelled due to a lack of women. In Wisconsin, a woman bled for more than 10 days from an incomplete miscarriage after emergency room staff would not remove the fetal tissue out of fear that doing so might run afoul of state abortion restrictions. Confusion post-Roe birth delays, denials for some life-saving pregnancy care. A father gave his 4-year-old son a loaded gun and ordered him to shoot at 2 Utah police officers as they took the man into custody at a McDonald's. 4-year-old shoots at police as officers attempt to arrest father. Mom killed 3 sons so they wouldn't grow up to abuse women. Do you know? In the 90s, Arsenal Soccer Club had a player called David Dix. When he was injured, the newspaper wrote Arsenal to play without Dix. The coach was upset, so the newspaper changed the headline to read Arsenal to play with Dix out. A record number of women attended the match. People were congratulating her on her pregnancy. It was an ovarian cyst. The massive cyst weighed 10.5 pounds and contained more than 1 gallon of fluid. Sarah Rector, an 11-year-old black girl, became the richest colored girl in the world in 1913 when oil was found on the land that the government had allotted to her family. By the time she turned 18, Rector was already a millionaire and was so rich that the Oklahoma legislature declared her as a white person. Oklahoma, I would like to award you the highest honor I can bestow. Girl on Instagram admits that she loves drunk driving and almost killed her ex by rear-ending somebody. Worst was totaling 2 cars in 1 year. I was way too lit driving back from Nocturnal and ended up rear-ending someone. Good news is none of us got a DUI cause I told them we got our exchange info and dip, or we all getting a DUI cause they were ducked up raving too. Lem tell you I love to drive drunk and fast and race. I do not do that anymore. Especially cause my ex head almost went through the window and I was less than $1,000 from paying it off and can't afford to total a 3rd car in 1 year. This was my little dagger, my baby. A 2nd grader was kicked out of a Christian school in Florida because the parents refused a homework assignment that required pictures in the bathtub. 2nd grader was instructed to send picture doing reading homework in bath. I'm looking for a traditional woman. Close to this definition but exact. I'm an alpha male type. I have my career in my own company. I have my own place, vehicles, and success. I need a woman to complement my life and achievements. I would like a kind, loving woman as well as submissive and compliant. Not in a bad way, I mean someone that will trust me and allow me to lead, and they will follow. I'm always honest whether it hurts your feelings or not. Shreks. The message you have sent has been flagged as suspicious by the Indian Telecommunication Authority, ITA. The message has been forwarded to the Bangalore police for further action and is under complaint number B6563. This is an automatic system that is still in beta phase. If you think this is a mistake, please type IMADCK. IMADCK. A Wisconsin school district says students can become spoiled with free meals and opts out of Biden's free lunch program.